Good morning, everybody. We are going to do something special. I've been actually super excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today. Are you there, my love?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, my
Hello?
love.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Give me just a second, though.
Give me a sign. Are you there?
Ugh.
How old are you?
When are we going to play Phasmophobia? I still want to play it. Don't think I never
I don't
forgot.
know.
I never
I,
forgot.
uh, when do you want to do it? You can't do it this
I
weekend.
can't.
You
I'm going to be
have very sudden
gone.
plans. Hey, switch the
I mean, no, I
screen.
don't have I don't have. Oh, right. Thanks. I don't have sudden plans. I've had these plans. However, I didn't realize how long these plans were going to be. If you know it, if you get my drift. But before I,
Husband.
I love my husband. Anyway,
Anyway.
let me first. I gotta do some stuff.
Doing some stuff.
Yeah, I gotta do stuff.
I hope everyone had a great Christmas or holiday season because, you know, Christianity isn't the only religion.
Yes, that's why I'm like I. For us, it was Christmas. It ended yesterday. Kwanzaa is now starting. So to
Hmm.
those who celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. And then apparently, I was talking to my dad. We were talking. We had a conversation about Christmas traditions to kind of, you know, continue from our thing last week, right? And him and Miss Anna, which is his wife, started talking about all the Christmas traditions they had in Mexico and in the Veracruz area. Of course, the state of Veracruz, they had their own traditions. And it was actually amazing to hear that, just, amazing to experience that. And we did have the ponche, ponche de Navidad or something like that. Um, but yeah, like it was had a fantastic Christmas. I wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it was. You know, I thought it would just be, oh, we're just gonna visit family and that's it. No, we went to service and I got to spend time with my dad and everything, and we played games. Like, we celebrated on the 24th because that is technically party day, for Latinos. They call it
Yeah.
Noche Buena. And then on the 25th, that's when they all open their, or like that's when they all stay together at their house and, visit with people and stuff like that. So it was nice. It was very, 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 very nice. Heckin' nice. Anyway, how was your holiday before we continue?
I mean, it's a little busy because it's like several different family members and stuff, or
Yeah.
family
Oh,
pods, I guess.
right.
But it was still really good. It was a lot chiller than last year because I think in the last podcast I said that yeah, we hit 5 Christmases on Christmas Day.
Oh,
This year we spent Christmas Eve with my in-laws. And then because my husband's grandmother is extremely close to my in-laws. Um, we were able to see them as well. And then Christmas morning, we got up pretty early and went up to my parents' house, and
oh.
we celebrated Christmas there.
Mm. Technically, my holiday
So
isn't over. I have to
yeah,
visit
you
my
know,
in laws. Oh,
mm,
man. It's
mm-mm.
gonna be. I'm excited, though. I haven't seen them. Jack actually told me. I haven't seen them in a year. I think you have a message. I sent you a message. Just type it in the Discord. Um, but I haven't seen my in laws in over a year. And I didn't realize it had been that long. I was like, has it really been over a year? Or like almost a year? And yeah, actually, it has been like a freaking year. And so we're going to try and at least, enjoy ourselves by visiting with them. I didn't realize it had been that long. And you know me, I don't like to go away from my family for that long a time.
you. very family oriented
I am
person.
a very
But
family
even
oriented
then,
person.
if you weren't, that if you are still on good terms with your family, that's still a very long time to go without seeing them.
Yeah, without seeing them. I missed one of my tias came to visit last week, and I missed out on that. I felt really bad. But my other tia is coming to visit on Sunday, so I think they're staying for the New Year's holiday, and I'm excited to see them. Like I haven't seen them in a long time, so I'm really excited to see them. Speaking of New Year's, this is what we're gonna talk about: is New Year's, because it's next week, right?
Right? Yeah, it's supposed to be Friday.
Okay, my dear friend Abby, I have some
Uh,
questions, some New Year's questions for you.
for me?
For you, yes. I want to
Hmm?
first hear the bad and then the good of your years. And then we'll talk about universally what has been good and bad.
Do you want me to say the bad
No,
bad?
no,
Because I
no.
haven't
The bad,
mentioned
bad,
that
no.
yet.
The
Okay.
bad, bad, you can keep that to yourself. The world doesn't
Okay.
need to know that.
Yeah, I was about to
Um,
say we've kind of kept that off podcast. So like the people around me in IRL know, but it's like let's not just bring that on the
no,
listeners
no, 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 no.
suddenly.
I'm thinking about like less bad, you know?
Yeah.
Just like an
Not the
annoyance of
bad
some
bad, just the
kind.
bad.
Just the bad of like some kind of annoyance or things. Because like as much as people shit on 2020, I know it's like an unlucky time
Mm,
for a lot of people. You know, thinking back on it, I think I had more ups than downs. But
right.
I also realize it's because of 2020. You know, they eased off a lot of pressure on people. I say that, but I'm also still someone with a job, so I could say that, and I'm incredibly blessed for that because I know a lot of people who still do not have jobs, who feel the pressure all the time of not having a job. So that is something I am privileged, I guess, to have. But yeah, no, like it has been nice. I like no one has to like we don't have to often go out and buy things or especially consumerism. Holy crap, the capitalism. I don't have to buy stuff. I can be content with just being in my house playing video games. I don't have to go anywhere. Like it's nice not feeling obligated to do a bunch of like going out and all that. Like that to me is the good, you know?
Mm,
Until you hit that point of, well, I haven't seen my friends and that's the bad. Like I
like we only
haven't.
get to see each other like at work.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, it's like I want to hang out with my friends. I want like I'm not really an extrovert. I don't like I'm okay with being alone and stuff like that, but I'm like I miss my friends. Like one of like we've talked about being in a party together with a couple other friends with Chelsea and two other friends. Like one of those other friends is like one of my best friends. It's like we go and hang out, we bake together, and I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
that's
do
right.
that. Like
Hmm.
I'm at a high exposure kind of job. I don't want to put them at risk.
That's absolutely true. I haven't seen my friends, like my friends in like their own home in so long. If we
Right.
do, we go out for like lunch or something, or they'd come visit me or something. But like I haven't because I would go stir crazy and I would text them. I was like, listen, I need to see you, even if it's like 15 minutes. Like, give me 15 minutes of your time because it's just oh my god, I just miss everybody. I do miss everybody. I did go. I have a friend who lives the state over, and when this started happening, they can't really go out much, you know, because they're also like high risk and their family's high risk. So I would go visit them, and it's so lovely to see them. And like they live in like a rural area, so there's not a lot of people. So it's nice to be able to like see them and be like, "Hey, I swear I'm good. I'm clean. You know, it's nice to hang out. You know, even if it's just us. You know, I'm just happy to see people. Like I would go on trips just to see people because I would go stir crazy. Stir crazy. I think that's what my husband had to deal with
Yeah.
this year. I've never had I've had wanderlust. I never had it this bad. Boy. And I think a lot of people who like myself who like to travel, who like to see new places, you know, even if it's like a state over or something, just something new that was taken from us a lot, you know, because we can't go to these new cities or these new places because COVID. You have to be careful. We can't. My thing is this: I couldn't eat at my restaurants that I wanted to eat in for the beginning of the year.
Right.
Um, a friend of mine went to the Korean bathhouse in uh, Duluth,
Yep.
in
Oh yeah.
Duluth, Georgia, recently. You know, recently being like a month or so ago. I was so jealous that they got to do that because they went. A friend of mine and her significant other went, and there was nobody. You know, there was hardly anybody in the sauna, so they opened and people got to enjoy themselves. I was so jealous because I'm like, I remember they closed for the majority of the year because you're in a communal bathhouse, so of course they would close. But oh my gosh, like those kind of experiences, and I love the Korean bathhouse. You know this. Ugh, love it. I was like, I have to put that aside. Oh, do you remember the whole Disney thing?
God, yes.
Yeah, we're not going because of they canceled the trip because of
Good.
COVID. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it's good, and I get why they did it. However, I'm still wanting to go to Disney World so bad. Like, I don't think you understand. I see a lot of my Facebook friends, uh, whom I've known in like in high school or in college, and they've been going to Disney World. And I was like, it's more than like one or two couples that have been going because it's cheaper now because one, it's the winter time, nobody goes, and during the holidays, and two, no one is there, period, because of COVID. But and I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous, but it's also not really, really Disney because you can't
Right.
experience that. So I'm like,
There's
it's
like
fine.
they've had to cut back on a lot of the magic. Um,
Yes, that's
you said
exactly.
that they've cut the parades. Like I know they've cut a lot of the what would be equivalent of like street performers and stuff.
Yes,
Um, like the little sectional entertainments like when we were in Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios, they had the soldiers come out and do a drum line. Well, they're not going to have
right,
those guys out there
right,
right
right,
now.
right.
They've cut a lot of those like line entertainers.
Yeah. I agree when you say they cut the magic because they did. They cut the magic, and that's
And not saying that
sad.
the rides are bad, but it's like for me what I love about Disney is like it's a whole experience.
Yes,
Everything about it.
you're absolutely right. It is an entire experience with not just the rides. You have the food, you have the pin trading, which you can't pin trade
I had
normally.
convinced you to get into pin trading.
The year before we were supposed to go out. Oh, honey,
I'm
I
so sorry.
know. I know. And I have a bunch of pins, and I'm like, I'm so excited. 2020, we're going to go out and we're going to like collect all these pins and do all these things. No. No, we're not doing that. We had a pin trade with each other, which was fun. I actually really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
and I always really like pin trading with my friends first.
Yeah.
Especially because we did it with Chelsor, and Chelsor's like not like a huge like obsessive pin trader, but she's like, oh, that's a nicer pin than what I have, and we'll up trade.
Yes, 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 yes.
She'll trade up until it's something that she really really likes and really really wants. But what she's doing gets her really good pins anyway,
Yeah.
even if she doesn't care about what she's getting. So it's always really fun to trade with her first to see what she has, and it's just nice to see because it's fun.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's so fun. And I want to experience it for real. I have been, uh, I've done this again. And I talked about it on the podcast before, how I've been like looking at Disney rides or like Disney parks or seeing vlogs of people going to Disney World. Cause like I need my, I have, I'm addicted and I hadn't gotten my fix at
She'll
all.
watch it at work and she'll be like, Abby,
I know. It's
Abby,
so
I
bad.
want, I like,
And like I spoke to my niece yesterday, right?
yeah,
When I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
her.
yeah. Hmm.
And we were talking about speaking of Disney World. And she's like, "Are we going?" And I was like, "Yes, baby." Cuz she will never forget. She was so heartbroken when we told her we couldn't
Oh,
go this year,
oh,
cuz we were supposed to go in the fall of this year. She was
right,
heartbroken. And
yeah.
she thought we would somehow lie to her again. It was not a lie, but break her heart again. Uh
I,
and like
babe.
yeah, telling her if we are going or not going, and we're like, if the COVID is not happening anymore, and they're in the fall, we'll go in the fall like we promised. And she's like holding us to it. We're holding on to this promise
You
that
might
we
need
were
to get
going to
her a
go.
little set of pin fodder and let her do pin trading too.
Oh no, she's
To
not a
make
pin trader. She's definitely a meet the characters and
oh
ride the rides kind of person. She wants to see her favorite princesses of all time. She wants to see Aurora because that's her favorite, or Briar Rose. That's her favorite princess.
I like
She
that's
wants to.
that's
I
a
was like,
lesser popular princess. I'm surprised that she likes her.
oh, I don't. She says she's like the prettiest girl, and she likes the way she sounds.
Oh,
All these things. She loves Aurora. She loves her.
that's cute. I
Yeah,
love
she's so
that
cute.
so much.
She would be the kind of girl who would love to go to the what was it? The Arendelle sing along or whatever, like the
Oh
Frozen sing
yeah.
along thing. She would
Yeah.
love to see the shows. She's that kind of person. We
Oh,
speaking of her family gave her like a microphone, like a karaoke microphone thing
oh
she can carry around.
no.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
She loves it. Let
Oh.
me just tell you, she loves it.
My sister got one. I don't think about the same age. I think my sister was probably about 10 or so when she was given one of those. And it would plug into your TV because the entire programming was in the microphone, and you could have like little, what would look almost like SD cards, kind of chips,
Yes.
and would you would put it in, and it had different songs.
Oh, this
And
one's
oh
high
my
tech,
god.
man. I was like, this one's high tech. It actually is Bluetooth connected to so it's a Bluetooth speaker, so
Oh
you can
no.
sing and play music. And when I went to visit her yesterday, let me just tell you, she was super excited to show me, and she wanted to sing and sing and sing and sing. And I was like, this, she loves it. So
No.
she loves that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure she'd be very excited. So that okay, sorry, we got way off track talking about Disney. Let us go back on
Us?
track. Yeah.
We
We always
off
do
track?
that.
What?
I know it's awful. We should probably change our what's your opinion to off the track podcast because we go off the track. Oh man. So, speaking of, we can talk about like what's good and bad, or
Yeah.
because like I will tell you straight up, but I also want to hear what you're going to be doing next year and what your predictions for the world is next year.
Oh, we could do both. I mean, we still got
You know,
like
we've
an
got time.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
So,
time.
first of all, what are some good bad things? Not heavy stuff, but good bad
Yeah, like
things.
we've already established like not the bad. Let's see here. One of the bad things that happened that stood out to me was Tangerine, like our
Oh,
warehouse kitty.
yeah.
Um, got into this accident that we don't know what happened.
Mhm.
We closed on a Friday. I He did not stay in the warehouse. I know he wasn't in the warehouse when we closed up. Um, he didn't show back up Monday, which was really unusual for him. he didn't show up Tuesday either.
Mm-hmm.
It was about midday Wednesday when he finally showed up and approached Ricey because I was handling customers and
Yep.
taking
Mm-hmm.
calls. And Ricey comes, grabs me, and is like, something's seriously wrong. And I won't go into detail, but we basically had to get him rushed over to um my family vet, which was fortunate enough extremely close. Um, and he got taken care of, and his bottom jaw was broken, and he had a canine that had broken as well, broken off.
Oh
Um,
yeah. We don't know what happened though.
we have no idea what happened. We don't know if he got hit by a car, if someone did something to him, if he got in a fight with a dog or a raccoon or even a coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so fortunate enough, like he had his jaw set. The doctor did a surgery on it to set it. Um, and was with a pin for what, a month, 6 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and has basically made a full recovery, and he has been living with me
I was supposed to say
since
that's a good.
after his surgery.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So he is now our kitty, even though he doesn't snuggle.
It takes time.
Right.
Remember, he went through a traumatic event. So
I know, but still.
so
But we now have a kitty who's very sweet. He only misbehaves when I ignore him, and he knows
oh
that's how he
baby.
gets attention.
S
But he's
I was
a
gonna
good
say that
boy.
he's a baby. He's a good boy baby. He's a good baby boy.
He's a boo boo bee.
So
And he's stinking adorable,
oh
and he
yeah,
knows
he's
it.
so floof. Okay.
So
s-
much floof. Oh my god, his tail. Like everybody's like, "Oh, he's so pretty. He's so pretty." I'm like, "Wait until his winter coat comes in, and then
Oh,
he's
he's floof. Oh
fabulous."
my god, Opie is the same
He's
way. He's
so
so floofy
fucking
right now.
fabulous in the winter. I love
Mm-hmm.
him so much. Um, but yeah, that's like a bad that turned into a good. Like me and my husband moved in March, and we have a bigger place now,
Yeah.
with a lot of nice room. Um,
Okay. I actually
what
found a
about you?
quiz. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
I found a
Is it quiz this
questionnaire.
time?
It's not quiz. It's a questionnaire. So this isn't a trivia. This is a questionnaire that I
Okay.
think would be able to keep us in track. So, because we will go talk for 3 hours about how much we this year has done things, but
Mm,
we will say what is this. I'll just ask you these questions and we can go from there.
alright.
What is or what was the single best thing that happened this past year? So pick one thing,
Me
best
and my
thing that
husband
happened.
moved
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I mean, due to
because
the
like it's in
circumstances.
general we weren't gonna get a cat where we like I have my cat from high school still lives with my parents, and I wasn't gonna bring her down because the apartment we were living in was too fucking small. It was
Right.
so fucking tiny. But when we moved, we were settling in and considering bringing my cat down. And then Tangerine happened. We
Yeah, and
weren't
then
gonna bring my cat
Tangerine.
down. She's
Tangerine's
so yeah.
important too. Yeah, I was about to say he's a good boy. Um, let's see. I would say the one single best thing that happened to me this year. Hmm. Oh, I'm an aunt.
You aren't.
I am a tia now. So I can't say it's I'll say it's a
Just
single
in
thing
time for
being a
you to be an
tia.
old woman.
Yeah, it's just like oh yeah, and I turned 30, which honestly had been pretty good. I'm actually quite enjoying it. I feel like there's a
I was about to
switch.
say, for turning 30 in 2020.
Oh yeah, it's like I think there's a switch in my brain. I think also because of 2020 that I literally give no flying fucks about anything, and I'm 30, so fuck all y'all. Like that's my mentality right now. Um, but honestly, I'm a tia, and I guess the
Ding.
single best thing that happened is just being there to be able to like help my sister set up for her baby shower or going to see her for her wait no it was her gender reveal, and then we went to visit her for her baby shower and being able to
A
buy
gender reveal
gifts.
without pyrotechnics.
Yeah, without the pyrotechnics, we ain't doing that. We ain't California, we ain't doing that bougie ish.
I was about
Um,
to say it ain't white people shit. 'Cause that's
yeah. But we're super excited because she looks like she's about to pop. We think she's gonna come out like it's gonna be early, but I'm very excited because this is my first like nephew that I'm so excited to have. So it's gonna be that was the most best thing, single best thing, and exciting thing that happened. And it's not even for me; it was for my sister. But I'm more than like ecstatic to meet my little nephew. Like I'm so excited to meet him.
Are you gonna spoil him?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna like so I was telling my cousins that when they had their kids, you know, I would treat and my sister knows this. I would treat him like I treat them. And I will be in meaning that I will be that one aunt, that crazy aunt that
Are you the
everyone's
wine
like,
aunt?
I would be the wine aunt. I would be the aunt that would buy everything their parents told me not for them to buy. I'll buy it anyway because if they want it, they can have it. And unless it's like a gun, but I'll give them a bow and arrow if they want it. You know what I mean?
Start
Um,
him off with a sword. Bows and arrows require too much coordination.
yeah. Well, no, if they want to be in archery and like her parents like, no, I don't want you to in archery. I'll give him a bow and arrow and be like, now he has every right to be in archery. You know, you
Okay,
either
then
send him
give
to
him
a
a
class.
cross.
I was like, you
Doesn't
send
say
him to a
fine,
class
get him
or
a
let him shoot.
crossbow.
And I was like, either if he wants to be an archer, I will give him the bow and arrow, and I would tell them you either send him to a class so he can better learn this skill, or let him shoot everything he sees and quote unquote shoot everything. So and then that's the kind of Thea I would be. I would get them in trouble, but not in a way like they can't actually get in trouble because the parents will definitely blame me, and I'll be like, "Yep, it's me, baby. I did this." That's the kind of Thea I want to be. Like how I taught my little niece how to draw a rocket ship. Wink,
Oh my
wink.
god, you told me about that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and of course she didn't get in trouble. I was the one who got in trouble, and she was confused, but I was laughing, and her mom was like, "Why are you teaching her this? She's gonna draw it in school." And I was like, "Well, I mean, that's a you problem." Oh man.
Man,
Uh,
you're gonna have to like record that at some point
uh
and post that somewhere because people gotta see that because you're like, first you draw a tube and then you draw like the clouds at the base
oh
and
yeah.
then don't
Oh
forget the
man.
tip.
Oh
Girl.
man. Like, cause it's the clouds, cause it's about to blast off. I'm just like, I kid you not, the look on her face and my face I was crying. And we were in the middle of a Best Buy, so I was crying tears of just laughter.
Because you were
It
doing
was
this
the
like
best.
on a like, was it a bamboo tablet or something?
No, it was the Apple tablet, because my niece wanted to draw on the Apple, what is it, iPad. That's what it was.
Yeah.
She wanted to draw on the iPad with the new pen and whatever. I was like, okay, it's fine. Plus, she was like 5 or 5 years old. It still laugh though. I'll never forget it.
Are you gonna tell her about that when she's old enough?
Probably, yeah. I never let them forget it. Like it was hilarious. You make memories like that you can think back and just laugh. It's funny. It's so funny. Um, let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Next question, because that's my favorite thing right now. But what is the single most challenging thing that happened this year? Single most challenging, but not the bad bad.
I was about to say the pandemic.
Okay.
Um, like I don't know. Like there's the bad, but then like I don't know. This may be like another bad, but like I think it was this year. I don't know. Time's irrelevant in 2020. I don't
Yeah.
really know. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know if this was this year or like 6
I'm
years
pretty sure
ago.
everybody aged 4 years after this year.
Right. Um, but like, and like, there are a couple of bads, but then there's like, my dad has like a mild case of dementia,
Mm.
and that's I like I think he's had it for a while, and my mom hasn't really like told me and my sister about it.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of kept it from us, and just working with it and him with it,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's different. It teaches you like a new kind of patience that I'm not a patient person. So it's a real challenge to work with, especially when I don't live close to help.
Right, right, right. That is, see, that to me, I think is a huge challenge. But I would also agree. The
And thankfully it's like a mild case and it's not like Alzheimer's and stuff.
right, but still,
Um,
it can still be
but still
challenging.
dementia is still a challenge in and of itself, and it's
Right.
only just going to get worse.
Yeah. Um. No, that I would agree with the first thing you said and say the pandemic was the most
Hmm.
challenging thing. Um, at least for me, because with the pandemic, we had to deal with what was a new normal, and I hate calling it a new normal. This shouldn't be
It should
normal.
have never been a normal.
Yeah, this should have never been normal. And I always think about like how to deal with it cuz with this pandemic, uh there have been higher cases of depression, anxiety, or just mental health in general. Um People are without jobs, where our economy like sucks as much as they try to hide it and paint it as nothing like nothing that bad. It's been horrible this year. And uh man, it's been awful. The pandemic changed everything. That like it was just the catalyst to all these other things that was just very challenging to navigate through. We finally, or at least for me, I have finally found consistency in this pandemic because now I stream more. I've been able to stream more. I've been able to uh you know compartmentalize what is more important for me, because bruh, if I hadn't, I'd probably go like crazy being able to do nothing. You have to adapt or you will literally like not survive. And this showed that. This year has shown you either have to adapt or you will not survive. And like, oh my gosh, did I adapt? Oh, bruh, bruh. And we made this podcast because of it.
Yep.
We had to adapt. We had to adapt with this podcast. So,
Mm.
there's that too. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. But that to me was the most challenging thing. Oh, here's a good
Yeah.
one. Here's a good one. What is an unexpected joy this past year? I would say the podcast.
Yeah. Like Tangerine, but I've already talked about Tangerine, but
Yeah.
like the podcast is like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. So fun. And then and the opposite end, what was an unexpected obstacle? Unexpected obstacle. Pandemic. That was unexpected.
Yeah, the
Hit us like a
pandemic was
I mean, it was expected but unexpected. We weren't expecting this to last this long for me. Well,
like an unexpected challenge, and challenge isn't always a bad thing, was like me and my husband moving pretty
oh.
suddenly.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Cause it's like, oh, we have friends that can help us move, but like I feel bad asking my friends to do manual labor, even though it's like, oh, I need help moving stuff. I'm like, sure, when do you need me there? I can show up early if you
Yeah,
need
I
me.
was
How
about to
long do you
say
need me
you're
to
always
stay?
there. Yeah. So you please.
So like, but I feel terrible for asking my friends to like help. I don't want like to stress y'all out or make y'all work.
I think at this point, we would be glad to at least see the outside for a good reason. You know, I would do manual work just to be able to do something.
Right.
Here's one. Pick 3 words to describe 2020.
Fuck off 2020? Yeah, there we go.
Fuck off 2020. Okay, let's see here. I gotta think. No, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck all
Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Like I said, I actually I'm okay in the place that I'm in right now in 2020.
Mm.
But it still fucking sucks. I can't travel, and that to me is like the biggest thing. I can't do crap.
Right.
Oh, it's so bad. Let's see. Okay. Here's something interesting. Pick 3 words your spouse would use to describe your 2020.
Think for hubby, he would do challenging,
Mm-hmm.
different, and I don't know what he would do the last one. I don't know what the third one would be.
I actually want to ask my husband, but I have to guess because that's what they told me to do. So
Yeah.
I would guess change.
Okay.
Um, that'll be change, growth, and change, growth, and just a big old fuck, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because you can use fuck for many, like, the way you think about it, fuck could be a good, bad, or like
It's like
sexy
that
thing.
Tumblr post about what is it? Samuel L. Jackson, like following you around.
Yes. So I think fuck is just a good old word.
Universal, yeah.
Yeah, a universal fuck.
But your husband, like, he suddenly kind of like took it upon himself to just start working out on his own, didn't he,
Yeah,
this year?
that's what I'm saying. He's done change and growth. Like this year hit
Yeah.
him pretty hard too. Like it really did. But through it, he's beginning to change and grow into a person he says he wants to be, which I'm very happy for. But also fuck because it really like it sucked. It sucked having
Pandemic.
having to force a change essentially in him, just to be able to cope with what's going on around him. But he's adapting and he's growing, and I'm very, very happy for him for that. Oh, here's something. What were the best books you read this year? I don't read anything, I don't think. Unless it was manga, because I went to the
I was
library
about to
a
say.
lot.
Yeah, you read some graphic novels.
I did. I did.
I would count those as books.
Okay, so if I'm reading graphic novels and or manga, the best ones that I've read that stuck to me were okay, so I read The Last Unicorn. Like the animated film comic, I read that. I also
How's
read
that?
what was it? There was one more. What did I read?
You read
Fable.
Umbrella Academy.
Oh,
Oh,
and
right.
I read Fable. I read the like as much as I could, as much as the library had of Fable. Which actually
Give
was
us some
really
information
good.
about Fable.
So Fable is a comic. Hold up, let me see if I can pull this up actually while I do this. I found the Fable comics in my college once, and I read the first one, and oh, it's by Chris Duffy. I think this is what it is. Nope, that's not it. That's not wrong guy. Well, it doesn't tell me. I'm pretty sure it's called Fable.
Me to fill them in about it real quick while you look it up.
Yes.
Fable is a multi-book graphic novel series. A lot of people, a lot of gamers would know it because it was adapted into the Telltale game Wolf Among Us, which is a uh chapter by chapter story where your decisions kind of dictate the
Oh,
outcome of
sweet
the
Jesus.
story. Um, and it's fairy tale creatures set in basically modern New York,
Also, it's
and a
very
mystery.
mature.
Oh, extremely mature. It's
Very mature.
graphic.
Yeah.
It's very graphic. Like, I haven't read them. Ricey has told me about them. I haven't read them, but even like the game, you can tell that it's kind of can be very violent.
It's interesting. It's
There's
because, like,
not an extreme amount of gore, but there is gore, and I knowing adaptations and stuff, I can imagine that there would be more prominent uh violence
yeah.
in the graphic novels.
So the ones that I read was like the first three or four. And then, of course, they branch out into uh, different sub stories of these different characters. And it's not Fable, it's Fables with an S. That's why I couldn't find it. But yeah,
Ah,
it's just a bunch of fairy tale characters whose home worlds were conquered by someone called the Adversary, and they had to move to the human worlds, or us, our world.
mhm.
But they had to hide that they are in fact fairy tale characters. So it's kind of like Once Upon a Time, but with more murder and gore and language, and not Disney friendly. Let's do it like that. That's
Let's say it kept more of the Grimm brothers
very
flavor.
much, very much, and I think that's why I liked it so much. It was so good. Um, but yeah, that was the books that I read this year. What about you?
I haven't this year's been kind of stressful for reasons with several bads that have
Right.
happened, and with the pandemic starting or happening so early, so shortly after the first bad, I really haven't. I'm ADD too, so I'll get into moods and quirks, I guess, and different things. Like I will go on like a 4 month binge of just crocheting, and that's the only hobby
Mm.
I'll do. And then I'm like, okay, I'm bored with this, and I'll move on to like reading or origami or counted cross stitching or things like that.
I thought
I
you read
just
Modal
I
Zushi
haven't
this year.
cycled back into really reading physical copies of books.
Well, I
Like
mean,
the
you read the
well,
whole Modal Zushi novels, didn't you?
like only one. Well, there is only one novel for Modazushi, which is the book that The Untamed, the
Was based
show
off.
on Netflix, is based off of. I the author has written other books that are not in the same universe, their own standalone stories and stuff. That was but I read it online.
It
That
doesn't
was
matter
the
if you read it
only
online.
novel.
I was about to
Yeah,
say, it doesn't matter if you read it online if it's a novel because they had to translate it. So,
and
you know.
it's kind of big. It's like 126 chapters,
Yeah, no,
and
it's
some
a
of them
big
are
boy.
it thick. It's a thick
It's a
book.
big boy. It was a big show. It was like a freaking long show. So, I would
It's
say
so good.
that would be a book.
Yeah, but that's kind of the only book I've read, and then I read like all this fan fiction for Motel Sushi.
Hey, I would say those
Hey,
are I was about to say, hey, those count in my eyes. Fan fiction counts.
yeah, okay. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, no, they
Uh,
count. I mean, first of all,
yeah.
there are some fan fictions that did turn into books. Okay? So, with that being said, move on.
A lot of times they're not that good.
No,
Emphasis on 50 Shades of
I
Grey
was
and
about to
other
say,
such things.
doesn't have to be good if they're just if people still buy them and read them, and it was
I
like a
mean,
big
that's
thing, and
fair.
then it turned into movies. So, yeah,
That's fair.
fan fictions can be
Um,
books.
Okay, so I read like a lot of fan fictions for the Modal Zushi slash The Untamed Universe. Um, but other than that, that's kind of the only thing I've read. I haven't been in a real like reading mood. Yeah, I kind of actually have been. I've been reading like a lot of fan
I was
fictions
about
for
to
these
say,
characters.
yeah, fan fiction still are count. Okay, so you are reading. It's just not books. It's fan fiction. So,
Yeah.
but you have read some. I should say, where were the best books slash fan fiction you read this year?
I was
So,
about to say the Modal Zushi novel was really, really good. Like I was reading it and I knew like Ricey and one of our friends weren't gonna really read the novel. For our friend, it was very explicit at times
oh
and
yeah.
she doesn't really read that stuff. So like I would go through and I'd be like, "Oh, according to this book that wasn't really clearly explained in the movie, this is
Mm-hmm.
what or the show, this is what's happening." And I'd kind of do the same thing for Ricey because Ricey's just like, "It's so long." I'm like, "Yeah, it's long, but it's good." But it's so long. Yes, you should still read it. I'm not gonna
It
read
is so
it.
long. Oh man,
So I would send Ricey. I'm like, "Oh, this explains what was happening that we didn't really understand what was happening."
that's true.
Either like a translator's note
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. Cause
like an inner monologue that wasn't included in the show or something like that. I would pass it on to Ricey and our friend.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Um,
I have another question. I'm
you always
skipping
have a
through.
question
I was like, I'm skipping through a bunch of these questions because I want to talk about what your predictions are for the next year. But this one
because
I
we
think
got
is
some
fun.
theories, like some conspiracy theories. I
Oh,
do
I
anyway.
do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what was your single biggest time waster in your life this past year?
Pandemic.
No, time waster. What did you do just to waste time? And don't say pandemic. Pandemic is a thing that was out of our control.
Well, like I don't waste my time. Like I do what I want.
Bitch, I'll
I
tell you. I'll tell you straight up. It's Animal Crossing. I have wasted so much time on Animal Crossing. I wouldn't say it's waste, but it is a waste because I would spend so much time on Animal Crossing. And oh, is this what is the single biggest time waster in your life this past year? Animal Crossing. I could have done something more, but no, I needed Animal Crossing because I had to create something and go on someone else's island so I could be able to feel like I'm out of my own home. It was awful.
it's not a waste of time. I would say like my commute to work is a waste of time.
Ah, but
I
I've
want some
already
like
like it's
public
not.
transportation that gets me there in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wish.
I want like the bullet train or the train system that Japan has.
Yeah, we're not that lucky. No one.
No, we're not.
It's too cost effective. No one wants that. People want us to waste our money. I'm sorry. I'm being
Capitalism.
capitalism. Debbie Downer over here. No.
Because I don't listen to podcasts. I don't listen like because some mornings I don't want to listen to anything. But it's like I can't read. I can't do any kind of hobby. Like I'm there in the car. Um, my radio is like the standard radio that came with my car. I don't have like a Bluetooth or anything that can like let me play like podcasts or anything like that in my car. So I'm just there just driving for an hour.
Yeah. I
I
have.
just I
I've
think
gotten to.
commuting is just a waste of time.
Yeah, no, it is. I get that because I also do the same. I play either a podcast or I listen to the news or I play jazz music. But that's dangerous because then I'll fall asleep. So it would be. I get that the commute would be a waste of time. So then, what was the best way you used your time this past year, Abby?
Hmm. I don't know. I think one of the best things I used my time was like doing the podcast
Aw, I actually
because it's
do.
like it's something productive that it's I I I literally cannot like hyper fixate on this
Mm,
and burn myself out on this.
no.
I am forced to pace myself with this, so I'm not burning out on this
Well, you're
like I do
forced.
with other things.
I was about to say, yeah, you're forced to pace yourself because, like, well, one, you have me. I'm asking you a bunch
Right.
of questions. It makes you think, you know.
Hmm.
and we don't really talk about it. I mean, we do, but not really into as in depth as we do like on the podcast. Which I think gives us like our minds something to like mull over, especially in the beginning of the morning
Hmm.
on a Saturday, which I think is very important. And it doesn't feel like work, you know? It's
Right.
not.
It's
It's
just
just
us chatting. We've never felt that this was like work.
mm-mm. Because it's just literally, I mean, we would think
Two
that the
friends talking shit,
yeah. Oh yeah, for
which is what
sure.
we do at work constantly.
That exactly. I mean, we do work. I as much as we shit on our work, we do work, but like
Right.
it's between the work and everything, we have to balance out like, okay, I will go crazy, give me a quiz, or I'm falling asleep, quiz me.
Which
Or
is
give me a
literally what we did
topic.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I was like, give me a topic to think about because oh wait, I okay. I'll ask this later because it did something on Wednesday I will not forget and I want to talk about it later.
Okay.
Um uh I think the best way I use my time would also be the podcast or streaming.
Yeah.
I have created and I used to and I've streamed for 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years. And I never streamed consistently after a certain point. Um so I remember when I first started, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I had like a schedule, whatever. But after that, I was like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And now 2020 had made me actually create a schedule. And I'm actually surprised because I used to think that, oh, my friends won't respect my schedule because they want to hang out on these certain days. But no, they're like super supportive. And I was very, very pleased by that. So that was the best way I could use my time. Because if not, I'm pretty
I
sure I would
mean,
have
we
gone stir
still want to
crazy.
hang out with you, but if we need to, we'll come harass you on the stream until
Oh, yeah,
you're
that too.
done.
Yeah, 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 that too. Because, like, I try to keep it so that I can see my husband as well, because he's also very needy
Lindy,
and
affectionate.
very affectionate. He wants to have some time with his wife. What man wants time with his wife? I'm just
What
kidding. I
husband
totally.
wants time with his wife? What kind of weirdo did you marry, Ricey?
No, so he's like, yeah, I want to see you too, and all that. So, uh, I've been able to like actually have a steady schedule. Some time I made out just for me and enjoying playing video games and, creating things. And I actually grew. My channel is growing because of it, and I'm very happy for that. So, that is definitely the best way I
Is
used
that
my time this year.
Ricey?
Huh?
What channel is that?
Ah, well, I'm glad you asked. It's a bowl of ricey on Twitch. Oh man, no spaces, just a bowl of ricey. It's nice.
I was
Um,
about to say we did that kind of dumb shit the other night
yeah,
when you did the Jackbox
which I
game.
want to do again. I really want to do again.
I
I
want to
miss
do
playing with
Phasmophobia with
friends.
you.
Oh, I want to do it in VR. I want to play Phasmophobia in VR. I want to because I have everything I need.
Heyo.
Just want to do it, and I'm scared. I think I'll be even more freaked out in VR. Um,
I want to see you die in VR. I want to see your perspective of dying in VR.
yeah, I'm not excited about that. What was, and this is the last question we can do. What was the biggest thing you learned this past year?
uh,
Mull it over. I think I already know what mine would be.
I think I know what mine is as well. It's like it's something I already knew, but it was just really heavily reaffirmed for
Oh,
me.
good. And what was that?
Um, it was because of the bad and some other bads. But like knowing that my family, like my parents, are literally there no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was I was rear-ended, like basically at a stoplight. What in back in like 2015 or something? And my mom was at work, and I called her and I told her what happened, and she literally left work to come get me. It was like the middle of the day, and she came and got me. But
Mm.
like, it's just reaffirming that no matter how old I am, no matter where I am, even though I'm still extremely close to my parents where I work, um, they will come. They will stop what they're doing and come be there for
That yeah, I think it's good because especially like you said with the bad bads and everything, family is super important. And again, I'm a family person. Like it's heckin' important to be able to know that they will always be there for you. You know what I mean? That shit impotent.
them. Potent.
Impotent. Yeah.
Like I have had friends, and it's like it's not only that, but like my friends do it too. Like your husband has come over and hung out with my husband.
He's family. I already know that that motherfucker's
They're like,
family.
let's just be honest, like, and all jokingness.
Yeah.
Your husband and my husband are absolutely dating.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for
Our
sure.
husbands are the other men to the other husband.
Yeah. Like
Your husband is the other man.
I already know. I fucking know. Bruh. Bruh.
We've known for ages. But yeah, like I've had friends that our friend that we watch like shows and stuff with on Discord, like she left work when the bad happened and came over because I couldn't get to where I needed to be when the bad happened. I know I keep talking about the bad Vegas
No.
fuck and
Oh
everything,
no,
but it's like
and yeah. Like the people who know about it, they're the only ones who should know about it, essentially.
right.
So,
Um but yeah, it's like I have found that I can rely on my friends a lot more than I've ever allowed myself to rely on them before.
well, that's good. I was about to say the same damn thing. You know, in the past year, I had a bad in 2019,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I had a bad in 2019. But this year, I have realized, just like you, that the people who matter the most to me, there are people who matter, you know, the most to me. I find out what real friendships are, you know? Um like I've never like I know what it is to be a real friend.
Yeah.
And I will say that because of that, this year taught me that, just like with you, that I can really rely on my friends. I've always known I could rely on my family. Um, but I always, like I said, I'm a very family oriented person. I never really explored what like friendships would be, you know, because it used to be for me, it's just like, and because of my, let's just say, past, let's go with that, I wasn't able to make a lot of friends or anything like that because of a certain person. But now that that's changed, you know, I'm actually making friends. I am realizing what real friendship is, and it's been wonderful. I've never felt that kind of, was it platonic love. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? I'm also being vague, but I don't want to get into my bad because that was last year. And we're rolling into the new year, baby. But yeah, so continuing from that, going into that new year, baby, what are your predictions for next year? Wait, I shouldn't say predictions. What are you hoping for next year that you're going to do? What is one thing
Uh,
you will for sure do next year?
well, the original fucking plan was for me and my husband to go to Japan for our
Oh,
honeymoon
yeah.
because the 2020 Olympics were going to be in like the Olympics, the Summer
Yes.
Olympics for Japan were going to be in 2020.
Right?
And we're like, we're not going. That's going to be expensive as shit and crowded as hell. No,
Yes.
we're going to go in 2021.
Which, guess
Well,
what?
I guess that's not fucking happening either because the Olympics are happening
I
or
was about to
supposed to be
say.
happening. I haven't heard anything further about what's happening with the Olympics. Because the pandemic just continues to go on because Americans don't know how to behave.
Yes.
Um, mhm. Uh, so like I'm hoping to go to Disney, or I'm at least hoping to go to Disney with my friends.
Yeah, that shit's
again.
important.
Maybe. I hope so. But do we want to get into my conspiracy theories, or do we want to? What do you want to go for
Before,
your goods
yeah,
first? Go for your
like, before we
goods.
go into the conspiracy theories, because I mostly want to hear yours. So
Yeah.
before before we get into that, I do want to say the one thing I am excited for this year is I will be going to Disney World. I will, because dang it, I want to have some fun with my niece, and fulfill that promise. I want to go to
Yeah.
freaking Disney World. I want to pin trade. I will pin trade. Speaking it into the universe right now, I'm going to pin trade. I'm going to Disney World. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Make it specific. You are going to pin trade at Disney World.
I will pin trade at Disney World, and I will be going to, hopefully, all the parks in Disney World. That is what I'm speaking into the universe. If the universe will please not like shit on me again. uh
I
but
think the
yeah.
universe shat on everybody this year.
Yeah, I know. Uh and then what else? I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to Disney World next year. Anything
Yeah.
else beyond that, I really don't know. I will not plan for anything else. I don't want to like put on any
Get your
pressures
hopes
or
up.
hopes. Yeah, cuz if Disney World does not work out next year, at least I can just be let down by one thing. The only thing that I have is just like that one thing. It's like fine, it's fine. But we're going to stick with that. We're just going to stick with that. That's all I'm going to say. Ugh,
I,
I
I
need to
I can't
stretch.
wait for you to pin trade. You're gonna have so much fun.
I know I'm gonna have fun. I just need to do it. That's the.
You need to be
I just
able to
want to
do
do
it.
it. I just want to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah. So conspiracy theories, because I keep going back to Disney World, and we really, really shouldn't do that. Oh man.
Oh, early this year. Well, not earlier this year. I guess about like May or so. We're
Mm-hmm.
like, this is like awful. 2020 has been the worst. In all fairness, it so far has been the worst.
Right.
I still insist that 2021 is gonna hold something extremely majorly bad.
So.
Because if we look into the past, um in 2011,
Right.
um two major world news events happened. Um that we know of. Like there probably were more, but what we knew of, the first one was the tsunami that hit Japan
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and hit the nuclear power plants and dumped all that radiation onto Japan. Um, that leaked out into the Pacific Ocean and is like reached all the way down to the tip of South America, clearly hit the coast of America, North America, and all the way down to Australia. Also, what happened that year were the April 27th tornadoes that swept across 13 states with over 300 tornadoes, and I think 16 of them were EF5 tornadoes, which is the highest on the tornado scale.
Yeah.
Um, with several tornadoes that broke records, that broke the record for the most tornadoes in a day, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was devastating. Hundreds and hundreds of people had died. I remember like friends in college having friends in other countries on the other side of the world were calling and checking in on them because it was so bad.
Right.
And then let's push back a little further to 2001, specifically September 11th.
Okay.
Both of those happened on 2001 and 2011, 10 years apart. I do think that something is going to happen majorly in 2021 because of that.
So
What it is, I don't know.
so you're
I
saying
really don't know.
So your conspiracy theory is that every 10 years a major event will happen.
A world impactful event.
Event.
Yes.
And since
And like,
2020,
I know we already have a global pandemic going on right
I was
now.
about to say, yeah, but that's the 9 year mark, right? So you're thinking next
I
year.
think it was even 8 years because COVID-19, it started in 2019. It just hit in 2020.
Right. So you're saying that in 2021, another, well, I guess national, because to be honest,
International.
huh?
International, because in
Oh, yeah, the
the
tsunami.
right.
Right. So something global is going to happen, and it's going to
And
shake the world. Because ours was for the U.S. it was the tornadoes, and we also had the twin towers, and
right,
Japan had the
tsunami. But
tsunami.
the Twin Towers were the trade towers
Oh yeah.
that also affected global transitions as well.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So
I
I
just
think
hope.
something major for the US that is going to impact the rest of the or world is going to happen in
I hope it's
2021.
not the major part of the U.S. That's what I'm saying. Because like if like the tsunami happened in Japan, I really hope that there's nothing major that would happen anymore in the U.S. Because like, come on, it has to move sometime. There has to be something
I
else.
mean,
Because like
we had wind and water.
we had
Like
fire this year.
there's
We had fire
uh
this year. You can't say that we had, and so
well,
did
no, not
Australia.
I mean
So did
oh yeah, that's
Australia.
right.
We all had wildfires this year. Australia had it really, really bad this year. So did the U.S., but you can't forget all the Australians.
So it's gonna probably end up being like an earthquake or something.
I hope not. Come on, please don't tell me that.
What? What? Okay,
You know, the
like come
only
on.
thing that would make sense, the only other catastrophic thing that could possibly be is the geyser, the big geyser we have,
Oh,
Yellowstone National Park.
Yellowstone.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can think of. If that
'Cause
were to
it's
explode,
technically like an active volcano kind of thing.
yeah, it's Earth, like you said,
Or,
and
I
fire.
mean, there's the San Andreas Fault and we lose California.
Oh, that's true. No, I don't think that's it yet. I think it's definitely going to be the geyser. We're all just gonna
Yeah.
freaking die. Well, that's a bummer. That's a freaking bummer. Uh no. I will hold hope. I mean, I shouldn't because 2020 is already like beat us
Well,
down. And if
yeah.
2021 were to beat us down even more, I kind of just give up. I'll give up.
Right.
Oh, I'm not excited. But we'll see. We'll see if your
We'll see. I
predictions
hope
come
I'm
true.
wrong. Like, it's one of the things I hope I'm wrong, but I'm like, there are a few too many coincidences.
That is true. That is
Because
true.
when was the last time we had a major volcanic eruption? Like, obviously, we still have active
I feel
volcanoes
like there
around the
was one
world,
recently,
Hawaii's being several of them.
right?
But when was the last time we had an actual eruption?
Hmm. I feel like there was one and then it just slipped my mind. I feel like there was one that happened recently. It may not have been in the US. I
How
don't remember.
recently is recently? Are we talking
I don't
like
remember. In my
20?
lifetime, in my 30 years.
Right, but still, like, if it's more than 5 years ago, like, that's a lot of volcanoes that have been inactive.
Hmm. Oh
So
no.
it makes me very suspicious of
So the geyser thing is still a very big possibility.
Yellowstone erupting is still a possibility because they it doesn't make a lot of headlines in the United States, but it's still active. It is like people are saying like the physical terrain of Yellowstone is changing
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
drastically.
Yep. I did hear about that.
And
Well, if these predictions do come true, you know who to light your torch and pitchforks for, because my dear friend Abby here said those, and not me,
I
not
mean, I'm
Ricey.
not the one that's
Ricey is
like
innocent in all of this, so if you want to like have something to rage or
I am
burn
just
the witch, burn the
giving
witch.
y'all forewarning get your shit together because it's like Mount St. Helen happened in what,
Oh, that's right.
70s?
You're right. You're right.
So like it's like America, like the continental United States has active volcanoes.
Well, yeah, I know that. But like, okay, so I'm just going to say 2020 was a terrible year for the whole world. It affected the whole world because it was a pandemic that literally affected the world. Except
Hmm.
New Zealand, because New Zealand is living their
Gets
best
their
life.
shit together
Yeah,
like
New
grown ass
Zealand's
adults.
fuck, man. New Zealand's living their best life right now, which good for them. They deserve it. Like they are the only ones who took it like seriously. So
I
good
just
for
wish
them.
America would take it seriously.
No, we're Americans. We never take anything seriously, but
Except football.
except football. They're not even the real football.
Not
Like American
football.
football. Yeah.
Football.
Not football, not soccer, but football, which you hold with your hands. But anyway, aside from that, um,
Egg ball.
I know egg ball. That's what it should have been. Um, yeah. So if you want to burn the witch, Abby's right there. So
Hey, I'm
I actually do
just
think
bringing
that there
it
was.
up.
I know. It's like I do think there's a lot of conspiracy theorists who think the same. I do believe that there's some that because like you've seen the memes, right? You've seen the memes lately of they have like this one bad character and then like, oh, thank God it's over. And then it's the even worse character comes next, like the bigger
Yeah.
baddie.
Yeah.
That's what this is going to be. You have a antagonist, a villain, which is 2020. But once it's dead and gone, there's even a bigger antagonist or villain, like the main man himself. Like in
Like
every like and that's what 2021 is going to be. And fuck that, man. Fuck that. I really
like
hope that's not the case.
what I've been seeing constantly, like I have seen someone post this about 4 or 5 different times since like August or something. It's like we don't claim 2021 as our year. We come in quietly and respectful and we
And
don't
don't
touch
touch anything.
shit.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Yes, I agree. That's definitely yeah, for sure. Definitely for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, do you want to wish our cuz by the time this this time next week, we're into the new year.
Yep.
So, do you want to say anything before we close off this whole year?
Fuck 2020.
Yeah, but yeah, fuck 2020, but like anything. Oh gosh. I hope okay, here, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I hope that and I pray that 2021 will be better for everyone next year. However,
Bro,
after
I'm
being
going in
shat
quietly
upon,
and respectfully.
I know it's like, and because I remember we made a party and it's like it's 2020, 2020 vision and all that ish, and it literally just took a giant dump on the world. I hope, we've cleaned ourselves off pretty okay. 2021, we'll just go in and be like, and it's hard to party because duh, no one wants to party for the new year because of what happened last year. You know,
I
let's
mean, we
just
can't because there's a global pandemic.
and that too. But like, just I hope everyone has a nice, safe New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone is so tense, and so you have the tense people who are expecting the worst of 2021, and then you have the people who are like super like stoked that 2020 is finally over. And time is irrelevant. Like it's not going to care if 2020 is over or 2021 begins. It's still going to probably shit on you eventually.
Yep.
But I have to say, like, I have to think that, okay, 2020 chapter done. Going to 2021. I don't have an agenda, or not an agenda. What do you call this? Planners? I don't have planners anymore because of what happened this year. I didn't even print out new pages for my planner. I'm just like, no planners. We're just going to go in quietly and just take it day by day because 2020 has taught me never to make plans. You're only going to end up heartbroken. You're never going to go to Disney World. You're never going to travel outside of your state. You're just going to, or not travel outside the state, travel outside the U.S. You can't do shit, Ricey. Just take 2021 calmly day by day and play more video games because that's all I've been doing 2020. Oh man. What advice would you give yourself? Because that's the advice I would give me.
Don't claim 2020 as your year.
I've never claimed that as my year anymore. Fuck that. It was
Don't
technically
don't
supposed to be because I turned 30 and I've lived 30 years. And to be honest, I'm surprised I lived to be 30. So, ding, ding, ding. Next year is
touch
your year.
anything. Go in respectfully. um, just enjoy yourself. Like,
True.
do what you can to enjoy yourself. Like, if you like playing a game, play a game. If you like watching YouTube videos, watch YouTube videos. Like, we're in such a sad and depressing time and year that it's just like do what you can to make yourself happy to get through to the next day.
Have you seen Soul? The Disney Pixar movie that's out on Disney Plus?
Oh yeah, that came out.
You should watch it. Because it's exactly what you're saying. Like it carries that message that you're saying right now. Just enjoy life. Just enjoy life.
Girl, we gotta watch the new live action Mulan.
Oh, we'll talk about it. No, trust me. I intend to talk about it. Maybe it'll be a thing for next year. But yeah, I hope you guys had a fantastic year. Thank you guys so much for joining us from the start of this year. Actually, when did we start? A few months ago, right?
We started in
September? October? September.
I think it was August because our first podcast was talking about Has-Been Hotel being picked up by
you're right.
A24.
You're absolutely right. So thank you for hanging with us for that last half of the year. Loved it.
Yeah.
It was so fun. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic and safe New Year's holiday. Happy Kwanzaa to those who celebrate. And I believe there's another. I know we technically, for the Mexicans out there, they celebrate Christmas, but not really Christmas, in January 6th. So we got time. So there's a lot of holidays going on.
There's still at least 2 major holidays happening through the next 2 weeks.
Oh, for sure. So happy holidays, and please, please stay safe out there. Like, it's just be careful. You know, we don't want to end 2020 even shittier than when we came in. Okay? Like, we really don't. So, yeah, that's everything I gotta say. So until next year, we will see you guys next year.
See you guys next year.
Next year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a wrap for 2020, and we'll see you next year. Have a good one, guys.